Good morning. It's good to be back. I was actually really looking forward to coming up, knowing that the roof is starting to be done, and I should see a big difference by the end of this week. It is actually midweek. I come up on a Wednesday instead. The weather forecast for Monday and Tuesday was awful, and luckily not the white stuff, but a lot of rain. So I saw the weather was going to be better later in the week, so I thought I'll stay home and do office work, get that stuff done. It's a drag, but it's got to be done. So I did that. Everything's done. I feel like I've got a weight off my shoulders, and I come up here to put a more load on my shoulders. But as you can see, we've got to finish off that bit of roof. I carried everything up last Thursday. That was a heavy day, especially alone. No Stian helping me this time, so I had to do it all alone. I felt like I earned my money that day. But yeah, I feel pretty optimistic about what we can do. So I'm going to try today to finish the 2 roof structures on the entrance area and finish off this area. So then tomorrow I can fiddle around with some little bits of stud work, and then I'm going to start sealing the building. That's a big moment. Once I can start getting this plasterboard on the walls outside, that means that I've got a dry place to store everything. I can move most of the materials in, and I can work inside when it's bad weather, which is what I always try to do for the winter. I try to plan the projects so that when I get to kind of November, December sort of time, we are starting to seal things up, which means we always have a bit of a push against the snow, but I said it now, great. But we always push against the weather slightly, but it's really nice in January, February sort of time that you can have the option of being inside. Where we are with this cabin, it gets extremely cold. It can hit -20, sometimes -30 here. Don't really want to work outside when it's that temperature. I have done it, but it ain't fun. So if the building is sealed up and I can dry inside, I can start insulating, I can start putting noggins in for all the paneling, and I can actually move into one of these rooms. So that's what I'm aiming to do. But that means this has to be sealed before Christmas, and ideally that roof ready with felt on it. So ambitious, I know, but if I can get done this week what I want to get done, then I can get Alex up here to help me for one day. We can get the OSBs on all this section, all the OSB plates. Then we're making good time. So, you know how it is. Let's get on with it. Well, one roof down. All the structure's up. Everything's nice and screwed together and holding tight. I've got to do some little nogs tomorrow, but I'm going to wait until I've done all the roofs and then I can do it all in one big go. So now I'm going to build this roof. The lasers are very visible now because it's dark, so I can get my heights ready and calculate what angle the roof is and prefab everything, hopefully. I'm hoping the timber I've got to my side here is going to be good enough, and then I don't have to use the lengths I brought and I can use that for something else. But yeah, so far so good. So if everything goes to plan, we'll get this in and it will be ready for us to start sealing up tomorrow. So it's going well. I'm gonna call my kids now and get my daughter to calculate the roof angle, because why not? Every day's a lesson. Let's keep going. Well, you know what? I think that was a pretty good day. I didn't quite get as far as I wanted to. I didn't finish the roof that's behind me, but I did get the gables built on this part of the building, so that was a little bit ahead there, a little bit behind there. So all in all, I think I'm running on time. I think I use tomorrow morning, cut the rest of the trusses. I've already got the template made up for them, so that's quick and easy. Get them cut, get them put up, and then get a central support on the ridge beam. Then I'm good to go. I can actually start sealing up this building. There's a few little details like this corner here I've got to finish off, just put a stud in. It's already pre-cut, so that's an easy job. And I got to put in a little bit of lintels over 2 small windows, but that's quick and easy. So I think it's going to go all right. I'm kind of changing my plans a little bit, and I think that I might attempt to get the OSB on the roof of this part of the building first before I move on to sealing up this building, just so I've got something to walk off of and I can set up a working platform there for next week, and then temporary bit of timber scaffolding so I can get up with the plates and get this building closed and sealed. I'm feeling pretty positive about this. I think by the end of next week I might be able to actually start fitting some windows. That would be really good. I can get stuck in on the old part of the building then. But getting ahead of myself. Tomorrow morning, let's get that roof done. All right guys, see you in the morning. morning everyone. Well, it was a really nice start to the day. Pretty fresh start, but not a breath of wind, crystal clear skies, which is perfect conditions for me doing the Tyvek on the roof. So I got to press on and get on with that. So you can see behind me, I got the roof done. I've got to make the valleys now where it meets the old roof, and then I've got to get some nogs put in between every truss at the top of the wall. That's just to give a nice little crisp edge where the Tyvek comes down and where the plasterboard is going to connect. So if I can press on and get that done today, I'll be very, very happy. It's quite a large surface area to cover, but I think it's doable. And when it's like this, it doesn't get any better. This is when I love my job. Carpentry in these conditions, even though it's cold, it's lovely. Imagine this place in the summer. Come rent it this summer. All right, guys, I'm going to carry on, but let's get on with it. Well, it's been a pretty productive day. I'm not too disappointed with what got done, but when that sun went away, it got really cold. It's about -7 degrees right now. Everything started to freeze and frost over, so I had to get off the roof. It was getting too icy. But I've just got some small details to do around the valley, and then we're all good. That section is done and is fairly waterproof until we get the OSB on. I also managed to prep this roof, so I've got all the noggins done. Fell off the ladder twice, you'll probably see that. I've got the noggins done, I've got some diagonals put in, and I pre-cut all the 2x2s. They're stacked up behind me there. So tomorrow morning, all I have to do is cut some rolls for the Tyvek, and we can start waterproofing the roof. If I'm efficient and I can get that done by kind of midday-ish, then I can get stuck in with some plasterboard, and that makes a huge difference to the structure. It will stiffen everything up really, really nicely, and also gives me shelter where I can store the materials. That white stuff is on the horizon. I can't dodge it for much more longer. So the more materials I can get inside and sheltered, the much nicer it is to work, because it sucked working with frozen wood. But for now, I lit the fire 3 hours ago. It's nice and warm in the cabin. I'm tired, I'm hungry, so I'm going to go in. See you in the morning. Well, that was a chilly start to the day. Ended up suiting up because it was so cold, and now I'm too hot, but I'd rather be too warm and cool down. But it meant I got the roof done. The first layer is done. This is the breathable layer of the roof. In Norway, basically, we try to get the moisture, rich air and the warm air away from the snow that is on the top of the roof to stop it from melting, creating ice and making a thick layer, heavy layer on the roof. So this basically will breathe any moisture, rich air or warm air, will go into that air gap, flow up the roof and out of the ridge. And that way we keep our roofs a little bit lighter, because we have to engineer here for about 450 kilos per square meter in this area. In some places in Norway it's up to 800 kilos of extra load on the roof. But it's a big mile marker. It means now when I can get the plasterboard on the walls, I can tape it up and I've got a sealed building. So with any luck, next week I can start getting the OSB on. Depending on weather conditions, I might even get a couple of windows fitted. So I'm pretty happy. So now what I got to do is I got to prep all the little areas where I won't be able to get insulation in from inside after the plasterboard is on. There's a few little corners and stuff and little triangle areas that I just need to put some insulation first. And I need to finish the valley up there. I'm just going to make some sort of temporary seal now, just in case it rains over the next couple of weeks so the moisture doesn't get into the main cabin. It is looking like it might be a bit of rain later, but right now it's good weather, good conditions, and progress is good. That little week with Stian and Alex just pushed me a little bit ahead, which means I'm slightly ahead of schedule. Still, let's keep it that way. So right now I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up, then I'm going to get up and do that valley before the rain comes. You know what? That's been a really successful week. I'm happy with the progress. The roof is sealed, most important. So now things that are in here will stay dry. It's not 100% waterproof in the way that it's a waterproof membrane, but it's enough to keep everything dry. And because I was ahead of schedule, I managed to get some walls closed up too, which is great. There's one less thing to do next week. So the rear gable here is semi-closed. The main boards are on. I just couldn't do the triangles in the dark. And the hallway behind me is completely done. So now, on Monday when I arrive, I can finish off these walls, get the Tyvek on the walls, get everything taped and done nicely, and battens on the wall. Then I'm ready to start OSB. So Alex will come up, most likely, and give me a hand, and we're going to put the OSB on the main roof. And if we've got enough time, we're going to take both roofs and the felt. Then I can breathe. Then it's waterproof, and that felt can stay out for 24 months if I need to. So then I can press on with the main cabin. Get the windows mounted, get the cladding ripped off, new insulation, and everything done. So it's gone well. So it's Friday. I want to go home and relax. I'm going to go home and see the kids and enjoy the weekend. So everybody, have a great weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please share the channel with everybody. Anyone you know who might be interested in this sort of thing, let them know. Give us a thumbs up. Alright guys, have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye.